So, if you're anything like me, then this week you probably took in a showing of the Fantastic Four, and then soon after got incredibly disappointed, but it's okay because you know what, I'm here with another Easter egg hunt video. I'm Joel the Comic Book Cast, and today we are going to be looking at all the Easter eggs, in-jokes, and references for Fantastic Four 2015 that you may have missed. I promise I will try and make this more entertaining than the actual movie was. So, starting things off, we have a very special 20th Century Fox logo. Now, if you'll remember for the X-Men movies, when it comes to the 20th Century Fox logo, they always like to accentuate and highlight the X, but because this is Fantastic Four, it's the F that got special treatment. Some other completely non-related words that start with F: failure, fiasco, fugazi. As we jump on into the movie proper and we're introduced to a young Reed Richards, he is called up in front of his science class with someone saying, "Hey, Earth to Richards." Could this possibly be a reference to the more space-bound origin to the Fantastic Four? I certainly think so. Another fun thing that you may very well have missed is that Reed's D-bag science teacher, who is totally unsupportive, just so happens to be played by none other than the legendary Dan Castellaneta. Yep, that's right, the voice of Homer Simpson is Reed Richards' science teacher. It's in this very scene, too, that the teacher makes reference to young Reed working on a flying car, which all Fantastic Four fans will know is a reference to the Fantasticar, one of the coolest vehicles in all of comic book fiction. Next up, we have Reed and Ben working together on their teleporter in their garage. This scene is pretty much taken wholesale from the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics. You know what's new though? All those freaking N64s Reed seems to be using to power his creation. Hey Reed, you jerk, maybe save some N64s for the rest of us, man. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, could the 64 actually be a reference to the Fantastic Four's origins in the 60s? Or, you know, maybe Josh Trank just really likes retro gaming. Next up, we have the Baxter Building, which is of course the home and headquarters for Marvel's first family. Reed and company live and work in the building for the movie, yet they don't seem to get it at the end, which is surprising. This next one's a little weird, so you're gonna have to follow me on it. It was heavily reported during Fantastic Four's production that Tim Blake Nelson would be a pre-transformed version of classic Fantastic Four villain the Mole Man, perhaps setting him up for an appearance in a sequel. Only his name in the movie is completely different from his name in the comics, so maybe not. But then again, his death is also incredibly protracted. Perhaps Dr. Doom didn't so much blow up his head as he did just really mangle his face. Another blink and you'll miss it reference comes in the home of Ben Grimm, wherein you can clearly see a menorah in the background. This is cool because in the comics, the Thing is one of the foremost Jewish superheroes. It's in that very same scene too, we're treated to an all-new origin for the Thing's classic battle cry of "It's clobbering time." Turns out he got it from his abusive older brother. Now, in the comics, Ben did actually have a brother who died young to gang violence, only his name was totally different than the one in the movie. Next up, we got good old Victor Von Doom in the country of Latveria. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Latveria never actually gets said out loud in the movie, but it is written on some papers. Also, if you pay close attention in Victor's cyber layer from early in the movie, you can see that he's playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. By God, Dr. Doom is so powerful he can play games from the future. Also, while on the subject of Latveria, in one of the earliest trailers for Fantastic Four, an IP address popped up on screen, and if people research that IP address, it would take them to a bunch of articles on Latveria. While we're on the subject of Victor Doom and the internet, it's interesting that after all the anger and hate that was thrown the movie's way when it was revealed that Victor Von Doom's origin in this movie would be as some kind of hacker, that all seems to be pretty much excised from the movie. I also can't help but feel that Victor's whole name in the movie was supposed to be Victor Von Dam like it was in the Ultimate Comics, but that they changed it back in reshoots due to fan outrage. I mention this because it's really the only way for the next Easter egg to make sense, and that is when Victor is getting all cynical about the state of the world, Sue refers to him as a total Dr. Doom. Because, like, Doom is already his last name, but she's acting like it's not, you see? Next up, we have Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, who in a nice visual gag when you check out his car during the racing scene, he has a Mario fire flower hanging from his mirror. Then, of course, there's the Negative Zone, which is never actually called the Negative Zone in the movie, in case you're wondering. Victor offhandedly jokes that if the government and the military got their hands on the place, they'd want to turn it into a Guantanamo Bay, a place to hold criminals. That's funny because in the comics, that's basically how they use the Negative Zone anyway. In fact, during the Civil War, Iron Man and his pro-registration team actually attempted to build a black site prison in the Negative Zone to hold the people who disagreed with them. During the big final fight scene, Dr. Doom proudly declares, "There is no victor, only Zool. I mean Doom. Yeah, that's gotta be a Ghostbusters reference, am I right? Near the tail end of the movie, when the Fantastic Four are gifted a brand new base of operation, they decide to call it Central City. This is a reference to Reed's hometown from the comics of Central City. FYI, in the Marvel Universe, Central City is in California. It's where Reed originally planned the space mission that gave the Four their powers in the first place. Another reference which I very well could be reading too much into is when Sue talks about her father never being a guy who liked to advertise and put his name on stuff. That's funny because when Sue and Reed eventually have a son, they will name him Franklin Richards. And lastly, before we go, this isn't really so much of an Easter egg as it is the lack of an Easter egg. Fantastic Four 2015 features no cameo from Stan Lee. Wah, wah. Yes, unfortunately, Stan the Man Lee can't make it out to all of these different Marvel movies, even though, you know, he did create the Fantastic Four and everything, and he was in the 2005 one and the 2007 one. But hey, I mean, you totally got Tim Heidecker of the comedy duo Tim and Eric. He played Reed's assumedly abusive stepdad for like a minute. So that'll just about do it for yet another Easter egg hunt video. I hope you had some fun. I hope you learned a little something. In the comments section down below, I want you to sound out. Tell me what your favorite Easter eggs and references were. Did I miss any? Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.
So thank you for watching the video, and if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out some of these other great videos we have on the channel. Just click the annotation right there, it'll take you to them. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.